My name is Kim Audley, and I am Vice President of Public Policy for the Chamber of Commerce of Southwest Indiana. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Tony Ricketts, who is a candidate seeking election to the office of school board. Please note that the same set of questions will be used for all candidates running for this office. Welcome, Tony.
I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. Well, let's get started.
All right.
Okay, please state your name, the office you're seeking, and your current position of employment.
Okay. My name is Tony Ricketts, and I'm seeking to be elected to the EVSC school board from District 3. Currently, I'm employed with D. Patrick Automobile Agency here in Evansville. I've been employed with them for 25 years.
Okay. Tony, what actions would you propose as a school board member to retain our existing teaching talent?
Okay. Well, obviously, I think that one of the important factors in retaining good teachers is compensation. And I think that definitely we need to be competitive in the marketplace in Indiana and local areas with the compensation packages that we have for our teachers. Certainly, I think that we've done a pretty good job of holding on to as many teaching positions as we possibly can. And I definitely appreciate experience and longevity with the school corporation from good teachers, and definitely you know, the efforts of teachers to improve on their education and their ability to teach our children. So those are all things that I think that should be compensated fairly, and we've been able to do that. But you know, as time goes on, and certainly to stay competitive in the marketplace, I think that we need to stay competitive with what we pay our teachers. I think another important factor in all of this is you know, the tools we give our teachers and the facilities and everything that they have to use as teaching tools. So you know, we have to provide those things for the teachers, and we need to let them teach. So I think that these are all important factors, and I think if you have a happy teacher and a teacher that wants to do a good job and give them the tools they need, we'll be successful.
Okay. Evansville Courier and Press had an article that said among Indiana's 293 public school districts, EVSC was 278 in its percentage of students, which would be 59.9%, who passed both the language arts and math sections. As the ISTEP test scores are increasing here in Vanderburgh County, what actions do you propose to continue the positive upswing and guard against complacency?
Well, I think that for one thing, it's our children, and I think we all want them to be successful in school, and we want to prepare them for success after they get out of school. I think it's also a matter of pride for our teachers, and I think we should promote it as such. To show the kind of education that our students are able to get within our school system. So certainly we should be motivated based on the job we're doing, use this as an indicator of the job that our teachers are doing to improve our ISTEP scores. I think communication is a huge part of the process as well. I think it's communication to the teachers with where we are and where we stand in the process. I think communication to the student to understand how important these tests are to them, and certainly communication with the parents so that our students are ready to take the test. I mean, you know, do they get a good night's sleep? Do they, you know, are they prepared for that? And the things that we can do in our homes. So I think communication with everybody involved is an important factor, and we need to consider it a matter of local pride.
Now that EVSC has dipped into the rainy day fund for existing projects, how do you propose for those funds to be replenished, or do you believe that they should be replenished?
Well, we've had to use the rainy day fund last year, you know, and you know, I think that we're all thankful that we have it. The rainy day fund should be replenished by excess funds that we have left over from different parts of our budget. And certainly, if, like any business, like any household, we need to live within our budget, and we certainly need to have a savings program. Because like any business or like any household, we do have unexpected occurrences that happen, and sometimes we got to dip into the savings to pay our bills. And I think we experienced that at the end of last year with our budget, and I think that we're all thankful that we had the money to do so. I remember reading not so very long ago, we went from having $66 in the rainy day fund to having over $6 million. And you know, educating our children is it's an expensive proposition to begin with. It's expensive for the taxpayer. It's expensive for the families that send their kids to school. But it's one of the most important things that we can do for our future as a community. So yes, I think that, you know, we should strive to live within our budget. Certainly any excess funds that we have, that, you know, we don't need to treat it as found money and spend it on other things that we need. It needs to be put into the savings account so that in the event we do have some unexpected occurrences within the budget, we've got the money to cover those expenses.
Okay. Along those same lines, what items would you add to or trim off of the school budget?
Well, that's definitely one of the things that I want to look at if I get to be elected to the school board. So that's something that, you know, now that I'm applying for the job, once I get the job, I want to delve into that just as deeply as I can. Certainly I think that, you know, we need to take a look within the school corporation and see where we're able to maybe both trim some situations or add to some situations. We certainly, you know, I know that I want my kids to have as good or better education than I had. I think most parents feel that way. We want them to have all the programs that were available to us when we went to high school. I want my kids to have those same kind of programs available to them. So certainly as I get into this as an elected school board member, I would look into those things, and then I would also have to look at some things that that we have where maybe we can trim some of the fat, you know, with some of the buildings that we have and so forth. Ways to cut down on some of the costs that we have now.
Okay. Now that state law requires teachers to be evaluated, what do you think about it, and how would you go about implementing it?
Absolutely. Well, you know, every employee in every business is evaluated, and we want to make sure that we have employees that are doing the best possible job. I know that there are laws that are being initiated in regard to this. I know that there are several programs, some of which that are being tried within the EVSC right now to evaluate teachers. I also know that school corporations have the leeway to come up with their own programs to evaluate that. And I think that working with some of the, you know, obviously some of the most skilled and intelligent people in our educational system throughout the entire state, that we can go through this and use this process as a learning process and come up with some of the best methods to evaluate the teachers. And you know, certainly we know there's the teachers that want to do a good job and that do a good job are invaluable. And certainly if there's any considerations to the converse, we need to take a look at that too.
Okay. How do you feel about teachers not being part of a union?
Well, first of all, I've got to tell you, the most important thing to me is just having good teachers. You know, that should be something that we should strive for, and that would be one of the most important parts of what I would have a feeling as a member of the school board. And certainly we know that there are currently laws that are in place. I think as a school board member, I want to make sure that no matter you know, whether the teacher's in a union or likewise, we honor the rights and stay within the guidelines of the law in regard to you know, what that teacher does. I certainly see the benefits of you know, what the union has done for the teachers in the collective bargaining process, and I'm respectful of that. But you know, at the end of the day, I want to do what's right for the individuals and stay within the terms of the law and what's right.
Okay. Well, Tony, I greatly appreciate your time today. If you have a campaign website or contact information that you'd like to share, please do so now.
Absolutely. One of the easiest ways to get a hold of me right now is via my Facebook site. It's Tony for School Board, and you can message me. You can get a hold of me there.
Well, thanks again for your participation.
All right. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.